about that. But we got a lot of good stuff for you tonight. Hopefully, Ace will join us on the other side of the intro. So, of course, we took one on the chin down in Miami, but climbed in the FCS Polls to 22 from 24. So, progress is still progress. Obviously, people still see something. Also, 2 wildest week 1 ever in the NFL. So, we're going to talk about that as well, along with also 2 Oklahoma State surviving a battle with Arkansas. And also to the $1.4 million that was collected in South Bend this past weekend, and a couple of games to look forward to as we approach week 2 of
I had to get
college
the audio
ball.
working. It was dead. Audio did not want to work.
Oh, all good, man. But yeah, we're about to roll this
I had
intro.
to make sure the audio worked and we don't have a Shannon Sharp situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are not gonna have that on this show tonight. At least not on my end.
Not on my end. We're good.
What you got? What's below that camera?
See? Nothing.
Nah, you ain't go down. Nah, I don't want to see you. Don't do that. But
anyways, be a friend to our friend. Yeah. Subscribe, see on the other side of the intro. There we go.
Yes. Let's run it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is GP. This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
All right.
Also, I caught what you meant by what we were talking about after the show last week. I'll tell you with the intro, but I'll tell you afterwards. I caught what you.
About that issue. All right.
Yeah, but I will. We'll talk about it. All right. So that being said, so fam, you took one on the chin. Also, shout out to you, Ace, for doing the intro this past Saturday. You did an excellent job. Hopefully the folks treated you well.
Yeah, we had they got me distracted for a minute there, but I came back on topic.
It's all good, man. You did good. You did your thing. But yeah, so wasn't pretty down in Miami, but I wasn't expecting them to win that one. It is what it is.
Nah, I expected them to cover and they did, so can't complain that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it'll be fine. It's you got bigger things you're chasing after, just like the Canes, and I said it last week. And you just got to move on. But the thing is, one thing that I did allude to towards the end of that night, Saturday night, was just during the bye week, ask yourself, are you giving? Is what you're giving right now? Do you believe that is good enough to win the Celebration Bowl? Do you believe that's good enough to win a SWAC title?
Not with that tackling.
Say again?
Not with that tackling efforts that they've put out the first 3 weeks.
I would agree with that. And that's the thing that I think needs to change. And I think hopefully it will change. A lot of people are saying, when this team runs into Troy next weekend, Troy will likely be an 0-3 team because they play the number 21 team in the country in Iowa. But quite frankly, right now, the way I'm looking at it, I think this team's gonna win going into Troy. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll put my foot in my mouth, as I usually tend to do when I have to swallow my pride. But for now, I still kind of lean towards Troy. But again, things could change. Anything is possible in college football. So much parity now. But for now, I think just the main thing has to be.
as you said, history in South Bend. Yeah, look up there if you want to talk about parody, and anything can happen.
Yeah, literally. So I think they'll be fine. Quite frankly, honestly, right now too, the interesting stat too is Daniel Richardson leads the SWAC in passing yards right now, 700. The next closest competition is I think had 473 passing yards.
I don't know what it is, but like quarterbacks on a whole this year and like every level are just not what they once were. And we'll talk about that when we get into the NFL section, but like college football too, it's just like you're just seeing guys miss these throws and you're like, bro, how are you missing these? So I don't know what's all that about. I don't know if it's they're just dumbing down the playbook so much and it's backfiring now or what? Because I don't think the defenses are that great. It's just the offenses kind of suck.
No, it's a little bit of both, honestly. But
No, it's like when you look at like FSU,
mhm.
then you look at like USF. If we'll talk about that game in a minute, but like you hit one of them deep balls, USF probably beating Alabama in that game early on. If they hit one of those deep balls, and they missed like 4 of them, where the guy was wide open behind everybody.
Well, that's a but yeah. It's a bottom problem.
So like Daniel Richardson playing good is good and all, but like just slack on the whole college football on a whole. The quarterback level has just been bad. What do you think? That's what 3 games now, 4 games now into college football. I believe 3. Two to 3 games, depending on what team is playing, right? So 400 yards is the next highest. That's 200 yards in each game. That ain't cutting it.
I would agree. And something has to change. Maybe it is the defensive competition so much more stiffer or what? I don't know. Or is running the ball becoming popular with certain teams? I don't know.
They're not even running it good. Shit. Sheesh, they're not even running it good. So I can't say that.
Speaking of basically going down the drain, Bethune-Cookman went down the drain.
When are they not going down the drain, though?
I mean, they really went down the drain. They got 2. They got a number 2 against Mercer.
But are we shocked, though? That's my thing. Are we surprised at all?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all. I'm not, at least. That was
I mean,
terrible.
I don't know what you could say about that. That's what we expected. I don't know if Bethune fans were expecting much different, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. Y'all's team is no bueno.
Hey, it happens. But another cool one happened though. South Carolina State took down the Citadel this weekend, so I guess it speaks that FAMU win for FAMU looks very much more convincing now. As well as this is a huge win for South Carolina State to go into the Citadel and pull out a win. And that's a huge win for a D2 coach that's coming up to FCS football. That's huge. And now you're staring Georgia Southern in the face. That's a taller task, but still, impressive.
I mean, if you're FAMU and you're like, well, there's probably still might actually get in. But if you're FAMU fans, you're like, hey, South Carolina State, if they get some good wins on their season, that makes that win FAMU had, even if it was a tight game, that makes it look more impressive when they have to decide rankings.
Think about it like this. Like, Duhart had 128 yards on 18 carries in that game. And then so you go back to their game where they played FAMU. Duhart had 10 carries for 74 yards. So it's like, we're ragging on FAMU's defense and stuff. But FAMU's defense did a better job against Duhart and this offense than the Citadel did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, I've been ragging on the tackling, but I mean, you hold a guy to 70-something yards, and then the next team goes, and it's like 100 and something. That's 50-yard difference there. And as this one, yeah, the tackling is not good in FAMU. I'm gonna be real. Like I said at the beginning, they ain't going very
Right.
far if you can't figure out that situation. I mean, I know certain places they're saying they don't want you to do hip drop tackles. Well, you still need to figure out how to get a guy on the ground. And FAMU, it's a lot of guys just bouncing right off your initial hits. So you're gonna eventually get caught by that.
You are. And honestly, this is why I spent my bye week working on tackling, pursuit drill, tackling, especially second level tackling, open field tackling at that. And because honestly, you can't go into conference play like that. You just can't. Maybe the light comes on, or maybe teams are not as good as FAMU is making these types of mistakes. But eventually, you're gonna have to start to learn how to impose your will defensively. This defense still hasn't recorded a turnover through 3 games, or what? Yeah, through 3 games.
3 games, yeah.
So something got to give.
I mean, I understand Miami's a hard team for anybody to play right now, but I mean, you kind of need to have some turnovers happening because that takes pressure off of everybody. If you can make a quick possession turnaround,
Exactly. Gives you a short field for your offense.
and it gives your defense more rest.
Yes, exactly. So, again, something's got to give.
Then again, you have to if you have a turnover, you got to have something to do with it on offense, and the offense can't be stalling out like they keep doing. Because there's been a lot of field goals coming in that short 30-yard range. Like the FAMU's been getting inside the 30, and it's been field goal. It's kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
So hey, Steelers won though. Let me stop.
Steelers won. I'm gonna talk about that game, and that's not a bad thing. But FAMU's had 3 games on this now, and it's been the same kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because that game against Norfolk, they could have had some touchdowns in that game to put that game like farther out of reach.
I said 31.
They had a fumble. I believe it was the fumble was inside the 30, and then they had to settle for 2 field goals also, or 3, 3-2. I think it's 3.
They had a fumble. They gave up 2 deep balls. The deep balls kind of went away.
No, I'm saying FAMU on offense. They had a couple field goals inside the 30.
Yeah. It was. My thing is, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because if I say what I want to say, I'll get off topic, but you're absolutely correct. Oh my gosh, I'm turning into you. The other game too this weekend is Morehouse against Howard, 2 of the most prestigious HBCUs facing off in our nation's capital this weekend. Huge weekend for Howard, or a huge week so far for Howard. If we're going to talk about it.
I'm pulling up.
Yeah, honestly, another.
Fact check myself.
What'd you say?
I am fact checking myself.
But honestly, I expect Howard to come away with that win. I know it probably won't be easy. Morehouse is a talented team, but
Howard should get that one.
Howard's got it. They definitely do. They looked decent against Rutgers. They in some aspects, and I think that it'll carry over to this game. And they'll be in the thick of that MEAC race as well. That very thin or 16 MEAC race. They'll be right in the thick of it. And also, too, the Boombox Classic is this weekend between Southern and Jackson State. That'll be another interesting one. So I ask Ace right now, who will win the Boombox Classic?
That's Jackson State. Yeah.
Between Jackson State and Southern.
I haven't heard much about Southern, so I'd assume Jackson State's going to win it.
Well, I would agree. It's in Jackson this weekend. And quite frankly, if I go back to it and bring it up, let's see. Where is it at? Nope, that's
what you looking for?
Looking for the statistics on this game. Yeah, quite frankly, looking at it, So Southern's last game was a 42-10 win over a Division II Savannah State, while at the same time too, Jackson State's last win was 58-7 over a Lane team that's not that
Okay,
good.
so both of them got wins against nobody, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Jackson State's still winning that. Southern hasn't moved me in a minute.
I would agree.
Who is the best HBCU NFL prospect this year?
Best HBCU NFL progress. I mean, you can make an argument for
Kendall
gosh,
Bowl.
the kid at Howard, the Gilstrap kid.
Hmm?
Let me see. Let me
I'm
pull
checking
up
his name.
I think I'm saying his name right. Oh my gosh, what's that kid's name?
Oh, you?
Howard.
I don't know, but for the Jackson State game, yeah, Southern. I mean, they're gonna have a rough week. I mean, Louisiana's getting battered by a hurricane right now, so Kenny
Yeah,
got
it's gonna be hard to. It's gonna be hard to practice.
yeah,
So they have to
Kenny
be
got good. That sounds about right.
smart about it.
But yeah, Southern. I mean, they're gonna be having a wonky practice schedule this week. I mean, Mississippi's also probably in the path. I'm not entirely sure about that, but
Hold on, I can find it.
it's only Wednesday, so they should be having decent practices on Friday. Probably have a walkthrough. Well, no, this game's Saturday, so probably not. But they'll probably have walkthrough Fridays, if anything.
That's his name, Kenneth Gallup Jr. He was also MEAC preseason defensive player of the year out of Howard. That's enough. That's I would say to go back to official JUCO or official junior college phenoms comment. Yeah, Kenneth Gallup. He's one to watch along with Kendall Bowler. I think those are your top two. As far as
You're back on the Jackson State game. Big is gonna I still think it's probably Jackson State, no matter what happens.
oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you because it got to one point where
Southern's been decent.
Savannah State had the lead at one point in that Southern game, but I think Jackson State just went straight to work on Lane. So I'm kind of, and plus this game's in Jackson too, in a primetime spot. I think Jackson State's going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And yeah, you're not wrong with this comment here. They need more work. All of them do, if you ask me. As far as tackling, as far as covering goes, they've improved. They fixed some things from game 1 to game 2. I'm not gonna say a whole lot about what happened against Miami because again, hell, that's Miami, dude. And I don't think they're gonna see a better wide receiving core the rest of the way.
Well, it was funny. I told him Casanova is gotta be a guy you gotta keep an eye on. And immediately happened. He was like a 60-yard touchdown on the first round. I'm like, what did I say? That was hilarious.
That whole group, dude, is just tell you Miami's a playoff team, man. Miami's a playoff team with the easiest route.
Well, they're a playoff team by default because the ACC sucks so bad. But I mean, actually, that could take us right into that because college football section because we're already at the time spot. But I mean, because I mean, we both know FSU was on bye week this previous week, but they had. I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't know how accurate and the timestamp for that video is. But they had the guy, and it's like DJ's taking his snaps like in practice, and you see two guys behind them running around with a water gun.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know how accurate that was, but like, oh my god,
I can understand two sides of every coin. I understand why, but at the same time too, it's like you've been getting your ass kicked, or not getting your ass kicked. You've been losing with horrible fashion So
Mm-hmm.
to anybody, that looks horrible. Now, I will say this: the Ravens did the same thing with water hoses recovering fumbles.
Yeah,
And
but this
nobody,
was not like, they weren't doing no football drills. They were just literally running around with the water gun.
now that well, he's trying to field a punt too, so I guess it's trying to kind of use as a distractor. But I mean, most coaches usually would like kind of use a little dummy pads like James Franklin did in a video I saw a couple years ago, like where he was smacking the return man with it to kind of try to like knock him off and make him lose focus and drop the punt. So I mean, yeah, it looks very childish and very horrible. But again, I understand the purpose behind it because
Yeah.
again, like you seen it with the Ravens. The Ravens basically did a whole slip and slide as far as how to recover fumbles that were on the ground.
Yeah.
And they had their linemen, DBs, and linebackers participating in it.
Well, now they need to work on their 2 feet down part, but we'll get into that. 2 toes down, I should say, not 2 feet. But for this one, what would Scouts grade better against FBS for sure?
Yeah, definitely against FBS.
I mean, there's some FCS stuff, but like with North Dakota State, but like most FCS, it's like just different competition in terms of the trenches. For trench guys, especially, it's how you manage against the FBS. Skill position wise, you could get away with it to some extent if it's like, how do I say this? If you were making like tight contested grabs in FCS level, that wouldn't grade well. Or if you're just blowing by people. But if you were running like crisp routes or something like that, or your sharp cuts as a running back, then that would grade decently as an FCS. But otherwise, it's definitely FBS.
Yeah. Plus, it's like scouts. They want to look at you too. They want to see your best game, and they also want to look at your worst game. They look at your worst game because it's like, all right,
How you handle it.
Wait, say that again, Ace?
I said how they handle it.
Yeah, exactly. How do you handle it when things aren't going your way? How do you handle being down? What is your body language like? Do you give up and not keep playing? Or are you still playing hard? Like that's the main thing that they want to see. Are you somebody that we can rely on even when things aren't going well? Are you still a team guy when things aren't going well? It ranges from honestly how you react on the field to hell where you sit on the bench, what your body language is like on the sideline when you're all of a sudden down 14 or 21 points. But yeah, no, I agree though. It's definitely, you grade better against the FBS. So that goes for every FCS team, quite frankly. So yeah, basically everything Ace just said. But yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about this whole this 1.4 million and a dub that was captured in South Bend by Northern Illinois. And I think we can also introduce Northern Illinois to the expanded playoff field conversation.
I'll be real, I never even heard of Northern Illinois until last week.
This is the school that, and I only know this from because I watched the game. This is the school that made headlines in 2012 that was getting wins left and right. Their quarterback was Jordan Lynch, who eventually I think converted to tight end in the NFL. And he basically said, in the Orange Bowl that year, he told the media, Florida State has no idea what they're running into. We're going to have them on their knees in the fourth quarter. And Florida State went out there and beat the dog piss out of them. And everyone was chanting on your knees, because they had heard that earlier that morning. So that's how I first got introduced to Northern Illinois, was that 2012.
I didn't even know they existed. So it's all good.
Yeah?
But depends on the schedule. I have no idea what Northern Illinois doesn't even exist on Bleacher Report, I don't think.
Yes, they do. Stop it. Don't do that.
Well, I'm gonna be serious. I don't even know what. Let me check.
Yeah, they do. Come on.
I'm serious when I say I don't even know where they are in this.
Here you go.
Northern Dame is what? Yeah. All right. So they do exist, but they have like almost nothing on their thing, bruh. They're at NIU.
Yes. Northern Illinois Huskies.
Western Illinois 54-14. 15. Okay, not bad. All right. Wait, is this MAC? This is not a MAC.
Yeah, but this is a MAC team. Yeah.
It is MAC?
So
My apologies,
so-
Northern Illinois. I was not familiar with your game. Once I saw Toledo, Ball State, Western Michigan, and stuff, oh yeah, this is a MAC school then.
They actually have they have a couple like they have one Tuesday night and two Wednesday night MACtion games this season. Here, I'll show you. I can share it with you right now. Go ahead and share my screen. Let me know when it pops up. Oh, there we go. So yeah, they got a couple games. You know, they play Buffalo. They got a bye week this week and deservedly earned. Then after that, September 21st, they play Buffalo.
Okay,
right there.
if they beat North Carolina State, I'd say yeah, they might be in conversation for a playoff team.
I would agree. And you know, a couple Wednesday
Gotta
night
beat
games.
Toledo, Bowling Green, Ball State.
If they can get by
this
that
Brown guy, that's crazy. He has the most receiving yards and rushing yards on the team.
Had to go double duty. Had to go double duty. And then it's funny because it's like their coach offered to help. Oh my God! Wait, geez, what's that man's name? Oh my God. Notre Dame head coach.
Oh, geez. Starts with an M somewhere in that name, doesn't it?
Marcus Freeman. So he
Yeah,
offered
see, I
to
didn't
help
know what it
Marcus
is. Don't get
Freeman
mad at me.
out with anything he needed, basically saying. And which, I mean, rightfully so. I don't fault you. Oh, it's good to see two African American coaches helping each other out, but you know, damn, if he can get through this season. If you can get through this season, dude, Thomas Hammock, who is also an NIU legend, if he can get through the season and stuff unscathed, put up some good numbers, probably make a little playoff appearance, might be might be a Power 5 job calling. Quite possibly. I mean,
Very
look at what happened to PJ Fleck. You know, PJ Fleck, all he did was take Western Michigan to a Cotton Bowl appearance a couple of years later. He's at Minnesota.
Billy Napier.
He ain't even accomplished nothing. That's my thing. Matt. And then, you know what? Now you got to see. And then the man, what he does is you have such a great performance. Give or take, it is against Sanford, but you have a nice performance by DJ Lagway, a guy that a lot
and you go right back to Graham
and says Graham Mertz is going to start against
That
Texas.
is like saying, right? That's like saying if Justin Fields has like a 4-touchdown game this weekend, and Mike Tomlin says, "All right, bet we're going to go back Russell Wilson next week."
Mike Tomlin's a smart coach. Mike Tomlin's been a head coach for this long.
That's what I'm saying. If Mike Tomlin did that, I don't think Mike Tomlin would do that if Fields balls out this week.
Oh no, Mike Tomlin wouldn't do that at all. And honestly, and quite frankly, I'm gonna talk about when we get to the NFL.
Well, we'll get into that later, but I'm saying that's like the situation. But when in the case of like a good coach like Mike Tomlin wouldn't do that, Billy Napier did do that. Is I guess what the point I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Lagway showed good potential against. I mean, it is Sanford, but like still, he showed good potential. Something that Graham Mertz was not showing against Miami. Man looked like a deer in headlights who couldn't hit the side of a barn for his life depended on it. I would say he threw more passes to Miami than he did his receivers, but that's not true. So unfortunately, but whatever. It felt like that at least. He threw more passes to the grass and to Miami than to his own receivers.
There
we go.
Oh God. And I think they're a 3-point underdog as it stands right now against Texas A&M this weekend.
That's what the 3 o'clock game on this triple header that ABC's got.
Can't
Yeah,
wait.
I don't know. I think A&M still winning that game.
I was trying to give Florida hope. I still have a little slimmer of hope.
I don't know. I don't think Graham Mertz beating A&M.
Quite honestly, it makes me wonder how good is Texas A&M getting beat by Notre Dame. But then again, hell, Florida ain't that much damn better. So who knows? And plus, I think this game is in College Station, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope. Ben
Oh,
Hill.
it's in Gainesville?
Yeah, it's in Gainesville.
Oh, well, yeah, honestly, hell, the Swamp ain't that intimidating, though.
What is this Weigman stats again against MCN? Because he sucked the other week. This guy went 11 of 14, 125, and 2 TDs. Everybody was hyping him up like crazy, but for the most part, he was like, man, this week against a nobody.
Who?
And against Notre Dame, he sucked big time.
Oh. Okay, I got you. I'm following you now. At first, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, A&M's quarterback, he kind of sucked against Notre Dame, so it depends on what kind of performance he does against Florida. But I don't think Graham Mertz is going to do much better. I wouldn't waste my time watching that game anyway.
They better lean heavily on that run game if you're Florida. Better lean heavily on it because you're going to need it. You are definitely.
They'll probably use Lagway like how Dan Mullen used Anthony Richardson his first.
Oh.
Remember how we used Anthony Richardson early on?
Mm-hmm.
You just throw him in a couple plays and he'll just let it rip.
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking back to like Dan Mullen using Tim Tebow in 2006. I was thinking way further back.
But isn't it Dan Mullen, right?
Yeah, it's Dan Mullen.
Okay. About to gaslight me to confusing myself. It's all good.
No, you good. No, I was thinking a different time period than you were. You were more futurist. You were more in present day. I was thinking like way back.
Well, I mean, we got this disrespect number 15 thinking up to join. So, I mean, whatever you want to say about that. But I mean, we kind of talked about that last week anyway. Anyways.
Yeah, so the other thing that happened too is Texas took Michigan to the woodshed.
We saw that coming.
I did. I think we can say this is probably a slimmer chance of hope. Not sure how much.
I got to see Ohio State play an actual team.
That's also a fair assessment. That is definitely
because I mean, at this rate, I can't even say who Oregon's really like. Oregon's beat Boise State and Idaho, so you can't, and they struggle against Idaho big time.
And Oregon may lose.
I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not even taking Oregon too serious right now. I mean, USC's there, but like, that's probably the best team right now in the Big Ten. From what I've seen so far, I mean, because Iowa lost to Iowa State, which was hilarious. I mean, Washington beat up on Eastern Michigan, but like, Washington isn't the same Washington that they were before.
I would agree with that as well. Because, Kalen DeBoer is gone, and a lot of those playmakers are gone too. And they may not win the Apple Cup this weekend.
Yeah, so like, Ohio State is beating up on Western Michigan, and I don't even know whose school this is. Akron? It is Akron. Okay, I saw AK. I was assuming it was Akron. So they're beating up on 2 MAC schools, pretty much. And it's like, you got to play a real team before we could see what Ohio State's really made out of. But this week they got Marshall, so their first real test is going to be next week, I believe. No, that's not next week. They have a bye next week.
This year Ohio State's got a bye week.
Yeah, so September 28th is Michigan State. that is the first real test for Ohio State, so we won't know until then what Ohio State's made out of. I mean, Michigan, it's just not the same.
It's not. I mean, it goes to show. I mean, dude, honestly, Buddy's the fall man. Buddy is the fall man, and I think at this point right now, I mean, maybe Penn State might beat him. I think right now, I feel like
I
Ohio
don't even
State
take Penn
could beat
State.
them.
I can't even
I
take
don't
Penn
either.
State serious.
I don't either. But
Penn
that's how
State with the game on the
serious I am
line
about-
always fumbles.
I agree. I mean, that also says too how unserious I am starting to feel about Michigan.
Oh yeah, that too. I will say this: I think if any conferences are gonna have multiple teams, it's probably gonna be the SEC. Probably gonna have the most, obviously,
Yeah.
and I think the Big 12.
Let's see. So if we're thinking about it right now, that's looking like Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, probably Tennessee. Maybe LSU rallies after that USC loss from the Big 12.
Well,
We're
yeah,
looking
USC's
at-
probably gonna win the Big 10. If anybody had to win it, it's probably gonna be USC or Ohio State. If Ohio State is what they, if they do what they've shown so far against like actual teams on their level.
And that actually brings us now to the next point, the most intriguing game of our slate this weekend.
Man, we didn't even talk about the fun game last week.
Which one?
All the way up until 5 minutes left in the game.
Oh, dude. Well, as I still bring this up. Oh, yeah, dude, honestly, I mean, it was intriguing up until the last 5 minutes. I mean, but you could just see at the end, and even Alex Gold.
Like, the defense got tired, and the offense just wasn't doing anything.
That's what Alabama does. They wear you down. And Alex Gold, he admitted it. He was like, dude, we played good up until the last 5 minutes. He said we did a piss poor job. And they did.
Mm-hmm. And his quarterback stood there like the Statue of Liberty in that pocket and drove my eye. I wanted to gouge my eyes off watching him drop back every other play. I was like, jeez, bro. Like, he's literally just standing there. His feet aren't moving at all, not getting hip set at all. And it's like the passes are all behind guys or overthrown.
And let that be an example of now it's for USF, you need to learn how to finish ball games. Because you had them.
Oh, yeah.
You had them.
You had them where you wanted them.
Games. You what?
Mm-hmm. You had them where you wanted them.
You did. You just got to learn to finish those types of ball games. So take that as motivation going forward into the season.
I mean, you got Southern Mississippi,
Bingo.
I think is. Yep.
Right there.
That right there. I mean, albeit it was Bama, but like you had that game in your back pocket and you let it go.
True. This is true. But I mean, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and act like either, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I'm not going to sit here and act like USF's not a team that has traditionally gone into places like SEC country and pulled off wins. I mean, I was watching the game as a little kid when they beat Auburn. I was watching. I think they took down. They had a stretch there where they were upsetting a lot of teams. So yeah, it's no surprise to me, dude.
All I gotta say is this week Byron Brown needs to figure out how to throw a football again and just stat pad like crazy against Southern Mississippi to get his confidence back up, because you're gonna have a similar situation in when you play Miami next week. That game's in prime time, 7:00 game, and that game's almost sold out already. They're probably gonna have to open the upper bowl.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. I
So
can't wait.
You got to be ready for that one.
Mm-hmm. And so now we turn our attention to the week 3 slate that we've chosen of these games here. So how we feel about Alabama going up to Big Ten country?
Boy, that guy Ryan Williams, he nice. When I say Ryan Williams, nice, I mean that boy nice. Wisconsin better pack up the bag because he's gonna run him out of the field, off the field. Anyways, so yeah, Bama against Wisconsin. Give me Bama. LSU against the Gamecocks. I mean, I believe the Gamecocks won last week, right?
They did. Took down
Yeah.
Kentucky. In Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky's not. I don't know. Kentucky's not moving me much this year, but I still think LSU bounces back. I don't know. Something about LSU in that first week, man. They just suck.
The opportunity again, just like Kev from Tally said, difference between a good team and a championship team is finishing. LSU had the opportunities. They just didn't capitalize on them.
Yep.
Second one there, you got Morehouse and Howard.
Yeah, Howard.
I would agree.
Oregon and the Beavs. I'm gonna take Oregon, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Beavs win.
That's why it's so hard for me to pick this one, dude. Because that's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, Oregon was looking a little shaky for a number 9 team. And then it's like, for the Civil War to be this early in the season at a key moment.
Wait, is the Pac-12 really just Oregon State and Washington State now?
Yes.
Holy crap, bro! What is going on? I can't believe that's just sad.
Conference expansion. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, like they can at least bring in some like Group 5 schools or something.
From on that side of the coast. I am on the bring Hawaii to the Pac. We'll make it the Pac-3 at that point. Bring Hawaii.
It's like the Pac-2, man. Like that's rough for Oregon State fans. Like it's just them too. Like their schedule's kind of wonky. They're basically playing like a makeshift schedule because you got Oregon, they got Purdue, Colorado State, Nevada, UNLV, Cal. Then you got San Jose, Air Force, Washington State, and Boise State. It's just I feel bad for Oregon State. So actually, you know what? Give me Oregon State. Just say F it.
Now, don't you change your mind? No, well, you know, I guess you got until Saturday at 12 to change your
mind. Hey, I was almost right though on the Arkansas Tulane picks that I had. They choked miserably, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I was the only one to take Tulane, and Tulane just choked it away at the end. I was like, bruh. The Tulane didn't choke that game away. The rest robbed them of that game. But I ain't gonna get into that game. Because they called that offense pass interference, bro. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, jeez. I felt bad for Tulane in that game. West Virginia versus Pitt. Give me West Virginia.
So this is the backyard brawl. So you said West Virginia?
Yeah.
West Virginia.
FIU and FAU. Both teams are trash. Battle of ass. Give me FAU.
Oh, you're just so loose about it. Jeez. All right. So
UCF and TCU, UCF.
I felt that same. Even though
I don't trust TCU.
Me neither. Even though it is in Fort Worth, I definitely got UCF in that one. UCF,
Southern and Jackson State.
One of my playoff teams. Yeah, Boombox Classic. I'm rolling with I got Jackson State.
Colorado and Colorado State.
This is the most
intriguing one. If Colorado State wins this game, bro, Shitter got to sit out the rest of the season.
Oh, dude, did you see what he did against Nebraska?
He threw his offensive lineman under the bus, which was a big red flag in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But he's not gonna survive. His body will not survive the entire season. I mean, he called him out, but I mean, it wasn't like it was unjustified. His offensive line is trash.
This is very true too. I think.
I mean, you don't.
If he goes like they don't have that like. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go finish.
Oh no, I was gonna. Someone said like the Colorado offensive line doesn't have like that country like AC/DC type guy that wears trucker hats to class. They don't have a guy like that, and that's what they're missing.
They don't have a blue collar lunch pail type of guy.
Yeah, which they don't. They don't.
Well, it's actually hilarious, but I'm not going to say what I'm thinking on the air. I'll tell you afterward.
I got a feeling what you're thinking, but I would definitely agree. Like they're missing like an enforcer or someone.
Yeah,
they're missing that crazy type dude. Like they're missing like
they're missing a meathead. That's what they're missing.
yes, a guy that will just live in the gym all day and just move weight.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that. But again, they take on the personality of their head coach. So I understand why they are.
I am not saying any more than what I have to say. They're very finessing. They don't have anything to take a punch in the mouth.
But it's also very, I view it as very cowardly to see Shedeur leave the field. I mean, now if he was injured, justified. I get it. But if he's not injured, dude, you're leaving the field with that much time left on the clock. Come on now.
But I will say the target Mahomes actually is not bad.
Oh, Rioli?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I like that kid, man.
He looks good. It's just, oh my god, he's getting to Tatum level of cringe with the copying of Mahomes.
If he wins, though, he wins. You can't knock him. If he's winning.
I will say for Shedeur, before we go off onto the next game, that shit ain't gonna fly in the NFL throwing your offensive line under the bus like that.
Oh hell no, dude. It'd be even funnier if he ends up on the Carolina Panthers. Imagine him and Dave Canales together.
If Shedeur ends up on the Panthers, Bryce Young is the biggest bust in NFL history. I'll say that straight. He would be a bigger if Shedeur Sanders ended up on the Carolina Panthers. That would mean Bryce Young busted bigger than Jamarcus Russell and Ryan Leaf.
That's a fair statement.
All right, moving on now to Georgia, Kentucky. I don't even have to spend 10 seconds on this. Georgia's winning. Next question.
Oh yeah, easily going away. So I need to know though, just to be 100% clear, we are rolling with Colorado State in this, or are we rolling with Colorado? We're going to give Colorado a chance.
Give me a second here. All right, so heads is Colorado, tails is Colorado State.
You're literally flipping a coin for it. I don't blame you. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna do it like this so we can all see it, right? So heads is gonna be Colorado, and tails will be Colorado State, right? Ready? I don't know if y'all can actually see that or not.
No, we can see it.
Wait, how do I flip it? There we go. All right, tails, Colorado State. For the I don't know, bro. That game, like, Colorado had the talent on the outside and at quarterback to win that game, but Colorado State's going to come in and just try to punch him in the mouth early and him hard.
The thing is, they're going to play up for the game.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah. What was it? We know Colorado's a better team. Like, up and down, linemen, linebackers, safeties, wide receivers, everything, quarterback, too. But it's just Colorado State's going to play up. We saw it in Folsom last year when Dion had everybody up at 3 in the morning literally watching the football game. We're going to see the same thing happen this weekend. Colorado State.
I remember that game. That was an
emotional night.
Bro, but that game's in Colorado State too.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about the heads and tails thing showing up to be Colorado State, but like, if Shedeur loses that game and he gets sacked 5 times, he needs to sit out the rest of the year. Say, screw your daddies. You're going to sit down and take that NFL money instead of the NIL money.
Can't fault him. Can't fault him at all.
But now, moving on to I guess we could actually take it right over to the Carolina Panthers game.
Oh yes, that is the worst franchise in the NFL.
David Tepperman, holy shit. Panthers fans, I feel bad for y'all. Y'all do better than that, I guess.
And it's funny because, and I'm gonna speak from just live experience, they thought that they were getting a coordinator that was just so excellent. Little do people realize he was so predictable when he was here in Tampa. But now it's like he goes to Carolina. He's never been a head coach before. Hadn't called plays in a long time.
I'm gonna hit you on the pause button on that one. The game and the route concepts he had weren't terrible. It was Bryce Young was missing throws, man. That first throw of the game, he missed Deontay Johnson bad. Like he threw it straight to the safety.
I saw him threw it straight to the linebacker.
I wonder if he can actually see properly over the line.
That's actually an excellent question. He might not be able to. He really might.
Like,
honestly,
if he's like this high, right? If he's like standing here, the alignment are like here, and you got a safety like this high up, probably not seeing it.
Which honestly, now that points again to a head coach. That's a Dave Canales thing, where now work to his strengths. Maybe his strength is roll him out of the pocket.
That's exactly what I say. Do like how the Bucs did Baker. Let him see better. Move him.
Do exactly like what the Bucs did for Baker. Roll him out of the pocket and allow him to make plays on the run, or design some type of play action scheme for him to make plays. Because whatever you did in that first game is definitely not working. Maybe they'll gel later on down the line.
The Saints might be the best defense they see for a little bit. And the secondary wise. But like you can't do what you did this week against anybody. Like you got the Chargers this coming week with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. Rest in peace if you survive that game.
I don't think they will.
But the corners in LA aren't like something that you could say, oh wow, they're so great kind of thing. Like Asante is good, but like rest of the secondary is not that great beside Derwin James. And he plays more box than out.
Oh, so this will be right up his alley then. You know, maybe Bryson might give him a free gift in the box. I'm being honest. I mean, Saints look like a damn dynasty this weekend.
Jeez, bro. I got people saying Derek Carr MVP. I'm so mad about that.
Hey, look. What I tell you. I told you, that man's seen all y'all's tweets and he's seen how y'all was talking about him like a dog all off season. And y'all was like, oh, Spencer Rattler, man. Spencer Rattler going to start by week 7. Nah. See what happened when you talk about people? They go out there and they ball. That's what you get.
All right, guys. Micah Parsons, you suck. You're going to get ramsacked. So Trayvon Diggs, you suck. You're going to get burnt into a crispy hat. And Marquise Bell, you ain't going to pick nobody off for
what? So now you're using reverse psychology for Derek Carr to go out there and have a bad day.
No. That man needs to get humble, bro. He was so bad last year. When I say he was bad against actually good teams. He beat up on the bad teams. Mm-hmm. And then he starts this year and he's shit talking the hell was it? He was shit talking
JC Horn.
JC Horn. He said I got 3 touchdowns on him. All right, fine. You are playing the worst team in the NFL, and you're talking like that.
Oh, so we agree.
Like, geez, bro. Like, shut the hell up. You have not won against anybody. I didn't even know the question was coming, but geez, man.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. So now you want Derek Carr to be humble. So now you're trying to. I love the reverse psychology of the whole approach to that.
I'll say this. If he goes out and he balls against the Cowboys and he balls against the Eagles and he beats the Chiefs, who's that week 4 game? The Bucs?
I think so.
No, Bucs he's playing the Falcons. The Falcons are a different conversation we're gonna have later on. I think they're gonna beat the Falcons, right? But if you beat the Cowboys, Eagles, and Chiefs, I won't say nothing bad for the rest of the season.
Whoa.
That's if he could beat those three.
Whoa.
Now that's not happening. Actually, I'll say that it's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen.
Where your boy Trey at? Because we need to lock and load in on that. Let me hold up.
I will stay quiet for the rest of the season. If he could beat those three teams. No, I don't think they are though.
Yeah, so we looking at it right here. So we're looking at Dallas in Arlington this weekend at 1:00. If they win that and then they host the Eagles September 22nd at home, if the Saints got off to a 3-0 start.
No, if the Saints got off to a 6-0 start.
Okay, so what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So if the Saints got
or
off to a
5-1 start. 6-0 or 5-1.
You said you won't say nothing bad about Derek Carr the rest of the season.
Yeah. Now the man might just actually go and lose every game from Broncos, Chargers, Falcons,
so even if they
Browns,
lose the rest of these games right here, if they lose to the Broncos, they lose the rest of these games. If they go like what was that 6-12, 6-11, you still
I won't say nothing
nothing
bad. Because if the Saints go 6-11, then he's gone anyway. So it's a win-win.
This is fair. That's a fair assessment. Okay. I just we y'all heard that, America.
They got to go 6-0 or 5-1 though.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but that's not happening. So we're good.
We're gonna let God do. We're gonna let God work. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let
Marquise
God
Bell, prove the Saints wrong for not taking you, and just get a pick 6, please. That'd be glorious.
That means you're rooting for your boy Chauncey to go off on the Saints because that's gonna be an emotional game week 3.
Bro, Chauncey's trash. He can think, but whatever. Jalen Hurts will run over him, and the Saints have struggled with Saquon before.
Okay. So, I just want to see all this play out. I'm just ready to see the next 5 weeks play out.
Yeah, I'm interested, but I also think they're gonna put CD in the slot so Marshawn can't shadow him this week if he does play.
So
that's gonna be interesting. Hamstring giving trouble again.
Interesting. Okay. So
all right, now talking about other teams, I've had enough about the Saints already. I've been annoyed with them. But they're in a hurricane right now. I'm not annoyed with them. I'm annoyed with people saying that Derek Carr is going to have an MVP year. That would just annoy me the hell off. Forgot people talking like he's a third-year quarterback, bro. But anyways, what game you want to talk about next from last week?
You know what? Let's talk about.
Holy crap! We got 83 people watching. Hello, I don't know who the hell is watching this.
Shout out to y'all.
Well, not rant about the Saints, but be annoyed about people saying Derek Carr's gonna have an MVP year. I should say.
Well, y'all are here.
But hopefully, everybody, Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, all staying safe and dry from what's that hurricane name? Francine. Forgot to say that.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, no. Cool. Let's talk about these Falcons, man. How they disappointed.
Michael Penix gonna be starting by October. Heard it here.
100%. 100%.
Cousins' leg is cooked. He can't even push off it. It's over for him.
There's too much firepower on that offense to not score a touchdown.
They did score a touchdown. I won't say that, but they only scored one.
There's too much firepower on that offense to only score one touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Got people saying Drake London's gonna have this breakout year. Kyle Pitts finally puts it all together. Bijan Robinson, guys, they got this great trio of wide receiver, tight end, running back. It's so funny, right? You have the Panthers. They passed up Pat Surtain for J.C. Horn. They passed up C.J. Stroud for Bryce Young, and who was it? They passed up Akeem Okongwu. They took Akeem Okongwu and they passed up Charles Cross, who's good in Seattle. The Falcons passed up. They passed up on Jamar Chase for Kyle Pitts. Passed up on Bijan was last year at number 8. Well, they passed up Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave for Drake London, and you passed up like any defensive player for Bijan Robinson, and and any defensive player again this year for Michael Penix. So you have spent offensive weapons the last 5 drafts, give or take, and you haven't won squat with it.
Hey.
Either team, I mean. Now, then you look at teams like the Saints and Bucks who have had mediocre seasons, but they've also been semi-successful, and they've been picking in the back half of the first round most of the time.
Because they have a front office that knows how to make decisions and they know how to evaluate. Jason Light even has publicly admitted it. He learned his lesson from his previous mistakes, his draft blunders. Him and his scouting department said, we are going to look at guys that I'm trying to find the word. We're looking for guys that, contain those qualities of what a Buck player is. So they go back and they look at, the play style of like a Leroy Selman, a Warren Sapp, a Derek Brooks, a John Lynch, a Mike Allstott, and they try to see, who has those qualities in the players that we're scouting. And my God, you go out, you find them now. You find a Jordan Whitehead, you find an Antoine Winfield, you find a Baker Mayfield, you find a Bucky Irving, you find a Jalen McMillan, a Mike Evans.
I would have said the offensive line. They drafted out offensive line pretty good.
Yeah, dude, honestly. And it's always like, I look at some of the picks and I'm like, sometimes I'm not happy with them, but I've come to realize now I'm like, sometimes the sexiest pick is not always what you need. And
the Bucks and Saints both took offensive linemen, and they're paying dividends already for them. Then you look at a team like the Falcons and Panthers who've taken skill position or passed up on the lines trenches either side for a while now, and it's like, pretty much.
Scouting departments.
So there's all that
I've seen and tasted success.
I will say for the Bucks secondary, no Antoine Winfield this week.
Oh, yeah. No.
And the corners didn't really get much of a test because Jaden Daniels wasn't pushing it this week, and they did get cooked on the ground by him. But you don't have to worry about that with Jared Goff. You do got to worry about Jameson Williams, though, because if he puts it all together this year, the league is kind of cooked for the Lions offense. And Ben Johnson was kind of screwing around in that game, play calling wise, because he was like, the Rams can't stop the run more or less, so we're just going to run it almost every other play.
Mm-hmm. I think, honestly, for me, that's my most intriguing game of this week.
I will say it's not even like an intriguing game for me personally this week. I need to see quarterbacks play better. Because I believe Baker and Carr were the only 2 quarterbacks to have 2 touchdown passes or more.
Yeah.
And over 200 yards, really.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of guys who had over 200 yards passing this week.
Which I'm actually surprised
takes me back to like what Tom Brady had said a couple of weeks ago about the state of quarterback position, where like coaches are dumbing down the systems for them, and guys just aren't good anymore. They don't have any short pass. Like the short passing game is what they are all dinking and dunking trying to do, but like the intermediate passing game is like completely non-existent right now.
Because I think it's a lot of it is preparation, dude. I think a lot of it's preparation. Guys don't know how to really prepare,
study
anymore. And you don't have a guy. I mean, we have him. Like, you
want to know why the Texans are so successful? Like CJ Stroud was one of the few guys that had the story come out. He's watching the Super Bowl and he's only talking about the 49ers defense schemes. Like, that's a guy who studies the game. Baker's been around so many different quarterbacks. Like, look, at Matthew Stafford had a decent game, right? He was one of the few guys. Where did Baker Mayfield come back from? He was with McVay. Since Baker came from McVay, he knew how to study a team and a defense properly.
Exactly. That's why I commend those. Baker, C.J. Stroud. Hell, I'll even throw Goff, Mahomes, Stafford.
I'll throw Carr in there too. He had technically a good
listen.
game, but I don't know if that was
Carr.
because he was good. He was throwing some good balls, I guess. He had the Rashid touchdown was nice, but the
I'll say
Panthers.
Carr because Carr been around the block for a minute.
Yeah,
I mean, hell,
Rodgers was coming off that injury, but the arm was looking good for the most part.
So Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rodgers, he gonna do what he do because I mean, dude, he been around the block.
Yeah, that's like one of the old gen guys who knows how to study it.
Yeah.
But in terms of new quarterbacks, all right, it was a lot of 150-yard passing games outside of like Jordan Love.
So you're
from young guys and Stroud.
As far as the stats,
and Love learned it from Rodgers how to prepare for games.
Only 15 quarterbacks passed for more than 200 yards this weekend. They actually, even I was watching, because I watch Red Zone on Sundays. They mentioned this was the lowest amount of touchdowns this weekend or this past weekend than previous seasons. I think in a while. So Tua, Stafford, Mahomes, Baker, Hurts, Lamar, Jordan Love, Gardner Minshew. Wow. C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, Goff, Anthony Richardson, Darnold, and Carr all passed over 200 yards, while the rest of the league was less than 200. Daniel Jones had 186. He was 16th in passing yards this weekend. Or that's where he is right now after week 1.
That was mostly garbage time. He had more interceptions. But anyways, how do I say this nicely, right? For the young guys, they don't prepare really anymore. Like that's why Caleb Williams sucked so terribly this past week. And then like, how do I say this? So like when you watch Justin Fields, right? The stat line wasn't eye popping, but he was 17 of 23 for his 156 yards, and he should have he was over 200 yards, but the rest called a phantom OPI on George Pickens that took away like a 50-yard play.
Mm-hmm.
So like you take out Fields, right? So that's like 200 there. Look at the guys who didn't get to 200 yards, right? So that would leave Bo Nix, Rodgers, which coming off the injury, Kirk Cousins coming off the injury. Dak didn't really need to throw the ball because the Cowboys were up a lot.
Yeah.
Burrow's coming off the injury.
Okay.
So you got those guys. So that's like 5 guys I already said right there. So that leaves you like the 12 guys. You got Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence didn't throw over 200, right? Yeah, no.
No, he did. He had 162.
Yeah, they were running it a lot though. They didn't really throw it much. Geno Smith, Will Levis, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. Am I forgetting anybody? Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, so that's I think everybody right there who didn't throw it, right?
Yeah.
Most of those guys are first, second, third-year players, right? They're from the new gen of players.
Yep.
Like Trevor Lawrence, you kind of expect him to do better, but the Jaguars weren't really trying to run it or throw it much because they were in the lead majority of the game. And then Doug Peterson happened, right? Well, I mean, I think the Jaguars screwed the second Tyreek Hill got arrested, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah. Don't get me started. Well, yeah, you're gonna get me started here.
We're gonna talk about that, but we'll get into that in a minute, right? So the Caleb Williams, Will Levis, Jaden Daniels type, those 3 guys, right? Mainly the ones we want to focus on. All 3 rookies. Then you got Bryce Young, who I forgot to mention also. He's in that conversation with Will Levis, second-year guys, all under 200 yards. And you were like, wait a minute. All these young guys are dinking and dunking, and they can't throw the ball deep. Or like they're intermediate passing non-existent, and nobody's actually checking on how they run film. While the 2022 class doesn't even play football anymore. Well, Malik Willis will technically start Sunday because Jordan Love got hurt. Kenny Pickett doesn't start no more.
That's true.
And the 21 class is only Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields who start right now. Trey Lance sucks. Zach Wilson is a third-string quarterback. Mac Jones is a backup. Then you go to 2020. That's the last draft class that has had good quarterbacks. And when you look at it, Tua sat behind Fitzpatrick, albeit that was a whole wonky situation with Brian Flores. Justin Herbert, he actually sat week 1. He didn't play. He got forced into that position to start because his plan wasn't even supposed to start. That was only because they stuck a needle in Tyrod Taylor's arm.
Yeah.
He didn't even supposed to start. Joe Burrow started, but I mean, Joe Burrow was he was like 24 at that point. He looked way more polished than most quarterbacks coming out.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts did not start right away. He sat behind Carson Wentz. Now he's working out. Jordan Love sat out 3 years.
Yes.
He learned behind Rodgers how to play quarterback, and that's why he's good.
Yeah. You're spot on.
Like Mahomes, he sat. Mitch Trubisky did not sit. Mitch Trubisky's not a starter no more. 2019 class. Cowher's like, he was a number 1 overall pick, but Cowher was kind of more talented, and he had Cliff Kingsbury trying to teach him how to do stuff.
Yeah. I think the best thing that happened to Justin Herbert was getting Jim Harbaugh. It was the best.
With Herbert, like, his numbers weren't crazy, but his weapons kind of suck.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I think having a coach like Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's going to work magic on that team. I was saying that right now. Joe Wall did not shut down Max Crosby. Max Crosby, one of the best pass rushers. Joe Wall had 0 pressures allowed. And that is what Herbert needs. Herbert was running for his life, getting banged up every year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once McConkey and Quentin Johnston learn how to catch footballs properly, and they'll be fine. Because, I mean, J.K. Dobbins looked like the ghost of Ohio State coming back out. He even said himself he wasn't in game shape properly. Otherwise, he would have had way more fantasy points. Thank you, Fantasy League, for letting me get him off waivers. That was crazy. But then again, DeAndre Swift sucks like hell. But yeah, back to my points. I'm getting off topic. The guys who are good sat at first, which is why I'm not too worried about Drake May. He's sitting, he's going to learn, and that's what the Patriots do. The Patriots know how to handle people properly. Like Mac Jones, he was going to sit, but then Cam Newton kind of got hurt, and then they tried to do too much with Mac Jones, and then Mac Jones fell apart once Josh McDaniels left.
Yeah.
And they did what Mac Jones wasn't good at, and that's why he didn't exactly work out.
Mm-hmm.
But the most recent guys, the ones who sit are the ones who play good. And the guys who aren't sitting and they're forced into positions where they're not ready to be able to handle what they're doing, you get debuts like Caleb Williams, who literally could not move the football and somehow won the game because the defense played out of their mind. And Will Levis was on the other side of the field and just crapped the bed.
Spot on. Spot on. It's a spot on take. I agree. Now,
all right, focusing on the week 2 games.
Let's talk about this Tyreek Hill thing.
Oh, you want to do that first and then week 2 games, or you want to do week 2 games and then Tyreek Hill?
We can talk about the Tyreek Hill thing.
Let's do the Tyreek Hill. All right.
I look at this and I'm just I can't believe what I've seen. It's just horrible.
Imagine if Tyreek Hill was not a football player. No, recognizable NFL player. Exactly. And the man wasn't even going that over the speed limit. He was 60 miles an hour is what the report said. And they did all that. They were out hunting. Was that police department? And I would say stuff about Miami Police Department, but I would get myself in trouble on air, so I'm not going to say that. Because there is a lot of fishy stuff about the Miami Police Department and what goes on in the porch and what money's behind all that, but I'm not going to finish that sentence. You can be inferred of what goes on.
Dude, Miami PD has a long history but I'll tell you about it once we
I know what you're going to say, and that's what I'm saying is like, that police department is bad. No ifs, ands, and buts.
Let's
What?
watch.
Oh, you got it? Oh, yeah, you're going to put the video on it? Yeah. Hit on the full screen and just blow it up. I mean, everybody's seen the video, but, like, the way how they handle it is just bad.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Like what? Why you have it up?
They knew who it was right away, and they were trying to make a name for themselves kind of way, in a bad way.
Sit down. Hey! Keep your window down. Hey! Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me that. Get out of the car. Break that fucking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now.
All right,
We're not playing this game.
So one thing I want to say here is, as they get ready to put him in cuffs, my big thing here is you're supposed to read someone the Miranda rights.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reading of the Miranda rights. I do not catch it at all here.
And they don't even tell him what he got pulled over for. They have to disclose what they stopped you for and everything. They don't even say any of that.
Exactly. Let's continue.
Get out. 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 What part of that don't you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested.
Strike two. He's getting out of the car, and
they put him on the ground.
And
handcuffs.
It's even obvious he even shows he's getting out. And then they pull him out aggressively, throw him to the ground. Let's keep on going.
That's it.
I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? I'm getting out. You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. I'm getting out. You're a little fucking confused. I'm getting out, bro. Too late. Too late.
All
right, bro. Take me to jail.
Did you need to drop the F-bomb?
Bro, do what you gotta
Not in the F-bomb. It's
good, bro.
Keep going. Say
yeah. That part is like, you do what we tell you. Okay, fine. He literally got out of the vehicle, and then you're trying to show your dominance kind of way. You know what I mean? Like that's just unnecessary. First off, I continue. We'll get into the whole rest of it.
Hey, don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. You stop crying, bro.
There's nothing saying illegal about being on the phone with someone while you're getting arrested.
Like you crazy. Set him up. Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro, dude, beating on my window like he crazy. I ain't do nothing, twin. Damn.
Don't park there. Don't park there.
Hey. Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. Bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ear.
Rewind about 20 seconds.
Did you hear what he just said there?
No, rewind to 20 seconds. Or about to the 2:05 mark, give or take. Wait, before they jump him. So about right there.
Play it.
Yeah, play it.
Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro.
Before, like, when they just walk him around the corner part, I'm gonna get to what I'm trying to say. Because they only say it once. And then they go and jump him like that.
Exactly.
So I just want people to notice it when I think. So just go back to the 2-minute mark or so. Yeah, right there.
Hey.
He's trying to get down.
I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro.
Say again.
So I said. So they said it one time. He's trying to bend down, but he can't really bend down. You already see him like he's starting to squat, and then they just jump him from the back.
Shameful.
So aggressive force works when he's complying. I mean, when you have surgery on your knees, they generally don't be able to sit down properly anyway. I remember they remember Lonzo Ball with his knee injuries. He has trouble coming up and down at first.
Mm-hmm.
Because just the motion of sitting down is different than running. Continue.
I I just tell you in your ears when we go there. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, Joe New, bro. Back up. Hey, call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Hey, call Drew. Call Drew, bro. Call Drew. Call Drew. Hey, call Drew, bro.
For those of you watching at home, he's saying call Drew in reference to Drew Rosenhaus, who is his agent.
His agent.
Yeah.
Hey, what? Hey, call Drew, bro. Just call Drew. Hey.
You can hear Calais Campbell's
listen,
voice.
listen.
And that Johnny Smith.
Man,
I know Calais Campbell got arrested too, didn't he? That's Johnny Smith. Calais Campbell's in the
Don't
car,
park
probably.
there, man. Just get in the car.
Drew, you gotta come, man.
Just get in the car.
Straight up the side on the side of the
Hey, get in the car. You're parked in the middle of the street.
I'm in the car. You gotta go before you get a ticket.
Hey,
I'm
in
not
the car.
Who's the
You
driver?
can't get a ticket
This
for
my
parking
car.
off on the side of the road.
You gotta move right now. Let me have your license. You get a ticket too.
Yeah.
Let me have your license. You get a ticket. Let me have your license.
I'm
leaving. I'm not playing. Let me have your license. Your license right now. Your license right now. You're not gonna give me your license?
Get in the car and leave.
You're not gonna give me your license? I'm leaving. Let me have your license. Your license right now. Hey, your license right now. Or I'm gonna lock you up. Your license right now. Your license right now. You're dealing with me now. Your license right now.
That buddy's on the cocaine paycheck. Anyways, pause that.
Wow.
It already cut off. Anyways, all right.
Yeah,
So the man probably pulled over onto the side of the road with his flashes on, which is nothing wrong with that. He could just say his car broke down. So he don't need to give no license for that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I mean, and I believe Calais Campbell did get arrested with Tyreek Hill, didn't he?
He did. That's the thing. You put the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year
and can't cuss because he's concerned about his teammate. Mm-hmm. So continuing on now.
It's like also that's another one. They didn't even Mirandize Calais Campbell. They didn't read him his Miranda rights.
And it's like they just pulled over to the side of the street, which is not illegal. It's not parked in the middle of the road. And there's no how do I say this? There's no probable cause or anything like that to request request Johnny or Calais Campbell's driver's license and registration for pulling over on the side of the road. Just saying. So that's like what, 4 or 5 laws. I had initially said 3 laws on Twitter, but that's like 4 or 5 laws they broke right there.
And the thing about these types of videos is it's like when old men watch The Godfather, they say they learn something new every time. Every time I've watched this video, I learn something new. I catch something every time. It took me about 5 times to watch, and there's nothing wrong with that. It took me about 5 times to watch that video before I really caught, the fact that they didn't Mirandize him. I didn't realize until just now, like, Tyreek's trying to squat down to sit, but it's like, he just had surgery.
Exactly.
I saw something.
Too. You play football. When you get knee injury, bro, it is hard to sometimes just bend down and squat down properly.
It's hard. It's meniscus
and
surgery.
Then there is no point of going and putting someone in a headlock for that because he's not even threatening or anything like that. So if anybody should get fired, that one who put them in the headlock definitely should get fired for anything.
100%, dude.
And then the one who was trying to arrest Calais Campbell, that one is 100% on somebody's payroll, and it ain't the police department. Just saying.
Yeah, dude. I think. See, look, he's got his hands behind his back. He's defenseless. He can't pose a threat to anybody. He can't. Like, dude, come on. And this is where I tried to teach one of my younger friends who's I don't even think 21 yet, about this whole situation, saying, "Oh my gosh, well, Tyreek shouldn't have done this, and this." Like, okay, you ever take Tyreek Hill admitted he was wrong in some cases, but at the same time, too, dude, it doesn't warrant all that. And then you sit there and you're like, "Oh, well, they should have just pulled away and done this and that." No. There's a history behind this, because
if Tyreek Hill was not an NFL player, he probably was getting shot.
Exactly.
Or he would have gotten full body weight on him.
Yeah.
And literally, not half the city of Miami, but there were people walking by witnessing all this. and there were people driving by, literally witnessing all this.
Where is it? I was actually trying to educate one of my younger friends about this. Actually, here we go. Eric Harris, who was killed because the cop who confused his gun for his taser.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. And there's also one who confused it for a hairbrush.
Dude, that's why I say thank God Johnny Smith and Calais Campbell were there. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And Odell was there too.
Odell was there? I didn't know that.
Odell walked up a little bit later, I think, when Drew Rosenhaus got there. But even Tyreek Hill he said it too earlier today in a press conference I saw.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because Drew is Odell's agent probably too. Yeah. I think it is the same agent.
But yeah, Tyreek Hill was saying today in an interview I saw that he had recently had a procedure done that he kept low key, didn't need to really share, for stem cells in his knee. And so that was the reason why he was saying he had just had surgery, because they had asked what type of surgery he had. And so he told the media, told the press. And he definitely said, you know what, those guys got to get fired. He said, you got to go. All of them. They got to get fired.
He ain't wrong.
He's really not. So I'm all in favor of seeing all of them getting fired, because the main thing, it didn't need to go to that extreme, and damn it, you didn't Mirandize him. So
I still don't even know what they arrested Calais for, because they never said.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to see what the end result will be of all this.
I'm more intrigued than excited.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like.
So with that, I guess we can kind of dive into the week 2 slate of the NFL.
Speaking of Tyreek Hill, he's going to be going up to New York. No, it's actually in Miami. It's not in New York. Holy crap.
Yeah,
he's going back down to Miami.
Which is...
That game's going to be interesting.
Primetime slot in Miami. I'm actually surprised, because usually you see Buffalo and Miami square off up in Buffalo first. But I mean,
that's why I thought it was in Buffalo.
It's another obstacle for Miami to, get through, because later in the season when it's cold, they're gonna have to go up to Buffalo and play. But yeah, Thursday night, Buffalo and Miami. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Miami, but I am very intrigued to see what becomes of the secondary for Buffalo, of how they handle it, because I don't know what Arizona's game plan was. I believe, I think they went into the game pre-planned to dink and dunk it kind of way, because they weren't entirely sure. I think Buffalo had an injury at the linebacker position or something like that, and they were like trying to keep everything toward the line of scrimmage. That's why they didn't use Marvin Harrison much, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, like with Miami's going to press them deep, right? And Arizona didn't really do that, so that's going to be the first real test for Buffalo's different defense with the safeties and everything like that. Remember, Marvin Harrison was wide open at the end of the game, and the safeties had a miscommunication on that play, so that ain't going to fly when you play Miami with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And on the other side of the ball, it's like Keon Coleman, he looked good in his first game, led the team in targets and receiving yards, but he didn't get touchdowns. So Brian Thomas got the best of Jalen Ramsey last week. I want to see how Keon Coleman does it this week. But also, I don't know if I should start Keon Coleman or Brian Thomas this week, because DK Metcalf, I didn't mean to draft you and you suck, so whatever.
All right, so with that,
give your thoughts of this game. Oh yeah, no Raheem Mostert though, so it might be Devon Achane or it might be Jalen Wright's NFL debut. Well, it is going to be Jalen Wright's NFL debut, but it might be his starting debut.
Ravens or Raiders at Ravens.
Ravens win that.
Facts. Let's see. Browns at Jaguars.
I will say this. Cosby, if he doesn't have a good game. Actually, before we get into that, That sexual assault one, man, that came out yesterday. Is it me or is that fishy as hell?
I need to look more.
That was
into
disturbing.
it.
I will say it was very disturbing, but like the timing of it was just suspicious. That's all I can say. But I will say this: if Cleveland doesn't win this game, that locker room might implode. If he plays bad again.
Well, I mean, Jameis will keep him together with another pep talk.
I feel bad for Jameis. He went from the Saints dumpster fire to the Cleveland dumpster fire.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville, dude. I'll be real.
I think Jacksonville's gonna win it. It's kind of funny now that I say that. Baker, if the Browns just kept Baker in 21 after the loss at Pittsburgh when he was injured, if they just kept him after that year, man, instead of going after Watson.
It's the most.
I don't know, Baker. I don't know if Baker would have been as good as he is now, but the whole team might have been in a better place.
Hey,
just saying.
Being Cleveland.
But moving on to the next one. Keep going.
Jets at the Titans.
Jets gonna win that game, but that also brings me up to the next point where the Jets had Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, and who was it? There was somebody else they drafted. Who was the third quarterback they drafted recently that they moved off of?
Well, they drafted Jordan Travis, but
no, not this recently. There was somebody else. They drafted a quarterback.
Oh, who did you say Zach Wilson?
Yeah,
Zach Wilson.
Sam Darnold. I don't know who was before him. Anyways, well Mark then I guess Sanchez. That was Mark Sanchez. Okay, then so it probably was the Panthers. Then Panthers had both Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. And it's like both of them somehow had good games this week, while Bryce Young just kind of squat shit bed. So that'll be interesting to see. But Jets, if Sam Darnold does good this week, there's some conversations about the Jets. If the Jets lose this game, in my opinion, but it won't be had. But Jets should win this game. Rodgers got the one game to knock his rust off. He got to show up this week.
Yes, I'm with you. 49ers and Vikings.
Takes me to the Sam Darnold point. If Sam Darnold balls out this game with Jefferson, oh boy, conversations will be had about the handling of Sam Darnold in New York with Zach Wilson, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. If Sam Darnold went to San Francisco, figured himself out, went to Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell and balls out, Geno Smith is the one I'm thinking about. That's the one I forgot.
Oh,
Geno Smith left New York and he became good with Seattle. That was one I forgot. If Zach Wilson somehow starts up in Denver, Bo Nix got hurt and he's good, the Jets would screw up 3 times. Anyways, back on topic. Sam Darnold, Jefferson, Jordan Mason's probably starting this week, so Vikings defense got another test with IU coming off the rust with Samuel and Kittle. That's gonna be interesting. But I'm more interested to see what Darnold does if he has another good game, because he started 13-13 or something like that with 2 touchdowns right off the bat against the Giants. If he does that again, boy, I doubt he would start 13-13. But if he has a solid game of 65% completion percentage with 2+ touchdowns, no picks, I think Sam Darnold might have a breakout year.
Yeah,
but I'll take the 49ers to win it.
Wait, what'd you say? You said you take the who?
49ers to win the game.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
I
thought you said something else. My bad. I'm just hearing things.
All right.
Let's see. So, Chargers and Panthers. I think we know.
Chargers.
Yep.
J.K. Dobbins going to have a massive fantasy game for me.
Seahawks and the Patriots in New England.
Patriots defense looked good.
Yeah, they did.
Can't say they didn't. Gonzalez was going to lock up DK, which is why I'm not starting him. But Kenneth Walker's health is a question mark. He's always having this abdomen injury. but I think Seattle still wins the game. They got some elite corners with Devon Witherspoon and Tyreek Woolen, so if the run defense holds for Seattle, Seattle's going to walk out with this win no matter what, I think.
Right there with you. Giants and Commanders. I like the Commanders.
I'm going to say this. If Daniel Jones has a bad game and if he has 0 touchdown passes against this Commanders secondary, he's officially done. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I felt they should have paid Saquon and gotten a new quarterback, in my opinion.
You see the Hard Knocks part you saw the Hard Knocks part where like we're paying a guy $40 million, not $12 million to a running back to hand it off. I was like, that's what y'all suck.
Exactly. And you see what happened last week. The fans waited for him to leave the stadium to heckle him. Like I said, I'm going to Washington.
I'm gonna take New York for Malik Neighbors' sake, but it wouldn't shock me if Washington wins it.
Wouldn't shock me. Well, yeah, I wouldn't go for yeah. Even he's not happy. All right, well, Colts and Packers.
Colts. If Malik Willis starts, if Jordan Love somehow starts, probably still Colts. I don't think Jordan Love should play this game. We didn't talk about it, but with Anthony Richardson, outside of those 2 throws he made to Ashton Doolin and Alec Pierce, he was bad. Like throwing the football wise, he was bad. But that's the thing with Anthony Richardson. Like he will make this like what the hell kind of play. Like that's crazy. But then the next minute he's missing a wide open Adonai Mitchell for who would have had 2 walk-in touchdowns.
Film study matters.
Yep.
Seeing the field matters.
I think he needs to learn how to get like a touch throw. You know what I mean? Like he lacks that kind of finesse throw.
Because he didn't have to really do it at Florida.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you said Lions, Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks at Lions.
I'm gonna take the Lions in this game.
Same.
But it's gonna be the Bucks have any chance to win this game. They have to contain Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra. Because Amon-Ra is going to get targets this game. He's not going to get forgotten about like how he did against the Rams.
I'm telling you, I think this isn't the last time we see these two play each other.
Oh, no.
I don't think it is. We'll see this again. Saints and Cowboys.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna see this.
Yes. What did the American president back in 2004 said? Yeah.
They better give Olave more than 2 targets in that game. That's all I got to say for the Saints. And on the Cowboys side, CeeDee Lamb is probably going to play the majority of that game in the slot. And it's a Brandon Cooks revenge game. I don't believe the Saints have played Brandon Cooks recently. So
I didn't know he's still in the league.
I'm gonna say Cowboys in that game. Marquise Bell pick 6.
He said he gonna say I'm gonna say Cowboys in this day, but he that's what he's praying for. He praying for it. I know. Look at him laughing. I know he's praying for it. All right, Rams and Cardinals, the NFC West matchup.
No Puka Nacua
for 4 weeks.
So Arizona's gonna have a rough time containing Cooper Kupp. But Kyler, Marvin Harrison Jr. going to get on the same page this week, have 100-plus yards, 2 touchdown kind of game. I mean, Jameson Williams busted that coverage wide open. So, the Lions missing 3 offensive linemen. Yeah, give me the Cardinals in that game. Then again, the Cardinals let me down last week, so whatever.
All right, let's go. Justin Fields and the Steelers against Bo Nix. Oh.
I ain't got to wait 2 seconds on that one.
That man is tired of Sean Payton.
Bo Nix sucks, bro. Bo Nix is who I thought he was last week. He sucked.
All right, let's go Bengals against Chiefs.
Chiefs going to win that game.
Yeah.
Bengals are going to be screwed early on. No T. Higgins again. Jamar Chase might bounce back. If he doesn't, well, they can have issues there. But, man, Xavier Worthy, bro. Oof. That was a debut for him. Rishi Rice.
Oh,
Probably
dude,
should
yo.
be
Oh,
suspended right now, but, he's the wide receiver 1 there, and he's way better than Travis Kelce right now. Travis Kelce became a full-blown, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Crap, my brain just went to a very wild place. Travis Kelce did not look good last week. That whole handlebar mustache thing he's got going on, I don't know, suspenders, that haircut is hideous.
Dude,
Man went from being a full-blown, man was looking so drippy back then. Now he went to that. Let me not finish that sentence. And he became dulled down. He's a blunt knife now. Changed man, not for the better. Moving on.
Bears and Texans on Sunday Night Football.
Texans blowout.
I'm manifesting that.
Tank Dell is gonna go crazy. Anybody else in any other game? I feel like we're missing some games. I don't know why.
Well, we got Monday night. You got
we forgot Falcons, Eagles. That's Monday night. Eagles gonna win that game.
I would agree. I definitely agree. I can see it.
Not all the games, really.
Yep, that's it.
That was 16 games we did. Dang, didn't even felt like that.
I know. I was looking at the slate too, and I was like, "Dang, that didn't even feel like a whole lot of games." Felt like it was a larger plate of games, but that's it. That's all.
All right. If there's any upsets, it's gonna be maybe gonna be an upset game.
If there could be one, I'm looking at the Patriots pulling it off. I'm looking at the Patriots. I'm looking at the Bucks maybe pulling it off. I'm looking at
Bills.
Yeah, the Bills. And I'm gonna also say
Giants Commanders is a toss up who wins the game.
I'm also gonna say call me crazy, but Minnesota.
I was looking at it too. I didn't want to say it, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, I can see it. Those are all mine.
Not about the same.
But yeah, that's all we.
Yeah, this week I'm making sure I start Tua in fantasy. I'm not doing that same nonsense I did last week. Got burned with that.
I mean, aside from Dak,
Tyreek got arrested, and I was like, I thought Tua was gonna suck, and then I'm like, well, I didn't expect Justin Fields to get handcuffed in the playbook. They didn't really let him do a whole lot. And the last time he played Arizona, he had 4 touchdowns or something like that. So I got screwed, and I lost because of it.
It is what it is. It's always.
It is what it is. I'll get him back this week coming up. Whoever I play, I think I play Hendricks.
I think you do. But also too, you had Dak Prescott getting the bag this weekend or last week.
Good for him. That was a massive overpay, though. I was shocked Jerry gave him that money. But then I guess Jerry saw Trey Lance suck in the preseason. He's like, "Oh yeah, we have no other quarterback coming up, so let's just go pay Dak and write it out."
4 years, $240 million. 231 million of it guaranteed.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Highest paid player in NFL history. Wild.
Who would have thought? Dak Prescott, 0 playoff conference championship appearances, 0 Super Bowl appearances, 0 Super Bowl rings, 0 MVPs, highest paid player in the league. What the hell?
If he'd have put, if Jerry Jones had put this type of effort into trying to keep Jimmy Johnson, he'd probably have more Super Bowls. But it is what it is. I just hope he pays Marquise Bell when the time comes.
You should.
He better.
My thing is, you gave CeeDee Lamb one of the biggest contracts. You gave Dak Prescott the biggest contract. What kind of contract are you giving Micah Parsons? Because he can't pay everybody.
Exactly. Exactly.
49ers are going to have that issue come next year, I believe, when Brock Purdy is due for his extension.
Mm-hmm.
No, Brock Purdy might be due for his extension this offseason, actually. Not my problem. I don't have that money, so I don't have to worry about it.
So they better get a Super Bowl. Because right now, that window is closing. It's closing. But folks, we are thankful for all 122 of you guys that tuned in tonight.
Crap. Shout out, y'all. Y'all some good.
Plus, I guess the two that are watching on YouTube, or I guess the ones that were watching on YouTube. So that's what 124. So we are thankful for a lot. I think this is the most views we've ever had on a live stream. Thank you so much.
I think we had 150 once.
Did we?
I don't know. I feel like we did. But anyways, if this was the most amount, thank y'all. Y'all some goats. Make sure you hit the follow button on Twitter and go to the link in the bio and hit the subscribe button. That will help us out.
Yes.
You know, definitely. Basketball and hockey are coming back next month. You never know. Maybe a new podcast coming. Who knows?
All 122 of you, if you're not liking and subscribing and following this page on Twitter, make sure you do so. Greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Who knows? I might have more jokes next week if Mark Isabel has a pick six. You never know. Unless Chris Olave has 10 targets and 150 yards, then I'll be happy if the Saints win. But I will not be happy if the Saints win with 2 targets for Olave, because then I'll be very mad.
We are going to be rooting for the Saints to go 6-0. I'm holding this. I'm holding this to Ace. And even if they lose this weekend, because he still said 5-1, I ain't gonna say nothing. We ain't gonna.
They're not winning against the Chiefs. They're not winning against the Chiefs. No, we're not fooling nobody on that. You see them Chiefs rest, bro. Oof. That 13th man right there. 12th and 13th man.
Oh boy.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Running Gun Podcast. We hope we see you soon. No FAMU breakdowns this weekend because they're on bye week.
Yeah.
Next week will be fun. We got college football. There'll be some big games next week. That's going to be really interesting. But otherwise, that's it for us for this week. We'll see you next week on the Running Gun Podcast. Stay safe, stay blessed. We'll see you soon. Adios.